It was supposed to be what the Israeli military calls a routine operation. Soldiers raided Jenin refugee camp to arrest suspected militants, but they were met with unexpected resistance. Violence in the Israeli-occupied West Bank is taking on a new and worrying form.
This is the spot where a large roadside bomb was detonated, damaging an Israeli vehicle as it was retreating from Jenin camp and injuring several soldiers. It's the first attack of its kind in several years, and as a result, the Israeli military say they may have to rethink their tactics.
As ever, it's civilians like Ghassan Turkman and his family who get caught up in the escalation.
Sadil came down from the stairs and came here.
During that raid, his teenage daughter was in their courtyard when an Israeli military vehicle drove by. She was uploading this video to Snapchat when the bullet came.
Sadil was standing like this, she was filming like this, and then the bullet hit her here.
The Israeli military says it's investigating. Her family are convinced she was killed by Israeli gunfire. Elsewhere in the occupied West Bank, there was more violence. The Palestinian militant group Hamas says they carried out this attack in response to the raid in Jenin. 2 of their gunmen opened fire at this roadside restaurant near the Jewish settlement of Eli, killing 4 Israeli citizens.
The attackers came from there. One came here and the other one went over there. He was first to be hit. The girl he was with managed to run away, thanks to God. Then the terrorist entered and fired inside. Another one of our students was hit in the leg by shrapnel.
Despite the attacks and the risk to their lives, these settlers say they aren't going anywhere.
But as you can see here on the top of the mountains, this is one of the ancient places that was mentioned in the Bible.
In fact, they're intent on expansion.
We're not afraid. We know that this is our homeland, this is our home. And you fight for your home. And we will do whatever is needed to stay here, to build, to grow, to add more life, to add more green to those bare mountains.
After the restaurant shooting, the government showed its continuing support for the settlers.
A day after the attack here in Eli, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced the authorisation of 1,000 new housing units here in the settlement, a decision he said in his statement was a direct response to terrorism.
Another response was this. Mobs of extreme settlers rampaged through Palestinian towns, torching property and threatening residents, sometimes in the presence of Israeli soldiers. It's a further escalation in a cycle of violence that looks to be accelerating. Back in Jenin camp, these Palestinian fighters tell me the situation is getting worse.
They are trying to kill everybody if they can.
All over the camp, they've been erecting these canopies, an attempt to blind Israeli surveillance drones, while they bide their time and prepare for battle.
We're gonna fight, as long as we can stand. That's what's gonna happen. They are using rockets, they're using planes, they're using all their army. But we don't stop. We are going to continue, as long as we can stand. If not us, our children, their children, we will continue.
That's the feeling on both sides. This was caused by an Israeli drone targeting militants, the first aerial attack against Palestinians in the West Bank in a generation. The next chapter in this bloody conflict is being written here and now.